Hello, guys. Happy Sunday. I am going to show some of my friends who have reached out to me about how I do my rice and beans. These friends are Facebook friends and real life friends. So they have tasted my rice and beans before, either at a function, at a church, function or church luncheon, and they are very excited and fascinated about my rice and beans. And a few of them have asked me to demonstrate. Well, today is not going to be an actual demonstration because to cook rice and beans, it takes a little time. And I don't want the video to be too long, so I'm going to give a tutorial and a very quick tutorial of how I do my rice and beans. Okay, so we start with the choice of beans. Okay, this is a red bean. It is not so dark in color. It's just, light red. And this is a darker red bean. You can choose your choice of beans in the store. This is also another bean. It's pigeon peas. Here in the United States, in Jamaica, we call it gungo peas. We also have the green ones, but this is the dry ones, of which I'm using today to make my rice and beans. I'm going to show you the finished product when it is done. I'll upload a picture of it. So you start with the choice of beans. The choice of beans determine the color of your rice when it is done. If you want a pinkish light red color, this is the bean you're going to choose. If you want a really dark red, rich look red color, I use this all the time. I love this one. I love it more than this one, so I use this one. Or I love gungo. I use gungo or pigeon peas because of the taste that it gives. It has a different flavor to it. It doesn't make your rice and beans have a color really. It's usually just white, but it has a nice taste to it. Okay, so you start with your choice of beans. What I do is overnight or half an hour before you're ready to cook it, or an hour, however long you want, you can wash your beans, wash them and put them to soak in a pot. It could be for overnight. The longer you soak it, the easier for it to cook. That's the main reason for you to put it in water, is for to get the water soaked into it because it is dry. So the longer you soak it, the more the water soak through it and expand the bean and make it easier to cook. So I start with soaking my beans, and then for when I'm ready to cook my beans, I put some cloves of garlic in it, which is it could be like 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. I also put, to make my starter, I start with rosemary. I love the flavor of rosemary. So this is how I do my beans. So if you want it to taste like how my rice and beans taste, you have to use some rosemary and some garlic to start with cooking the beans, along with salt in the water for taste. Salt give everything taste. So when the bean is cooked, like my bean, now I'm going to show you. A cooked bean can be pressed open like this when you test it. You take the bean out of the pot, you take a grain, you press it together. This one is hard. You press it together in your hand and it comes out soft like this. So that's when you know your bean is ready to be seasoned up. So for seasoning it up, you are gonna use coconut milk. It depends on the amount of rice you're cooking. You can judge it by a cup or two. This is liquid coconut milk I get in the farmer's market. I put that in. I put some scallion in there. Not all of this. This is just a demonstration. So this is some scallion that's left from the other heap that I bought in the store. You can put 3 or 4 leeks like this of scallion in there. This is some thyme. You can wash this, all of this washed, put in the mixture. And this is a pepper. This is a pepper. So in my cooked beans, you put some coconut milk, all of these other ingredients in there, along with, I love to use onion powder, garlic powder, and you can top it up with some bouillon or seasoned salt or whatever, but you have to put the salt or all those other tastes to your taste. Everybody's taste bud is different. Everybody taste bud is different. So while you are seasoning your pot, you have to taste as you go along until you get that flavor. Most of the time you will let all these boil in it for at least 10 minutes so the flavor comes out of it, and then you taste it, and then it will be ready for you to put in your rice. Okay, you can use any choice of rice. I use brown rice, the Uncle Ben kind of brown rice with the husk. That is what I use. You can use parboiled rice. Some people call that brown rice, but parboiled rice is not brown rice. It is parboiled. And you can use jasmine rice. You can use basmati rice. You can use regular white long grain rice. Any rice of choice. The trick of it is you can't, depending on the kind of rice, you have to put the amount of water. If it is regular long grain rice, less water. You just want water just to cover it a little bit over the pot. If it's the rice that I use, you have to put a little bit more water because it takes longer to cook. So you have to put, usually it's 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. That's how the rice measurements for cooking rice is the standard measurement. 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water. But for my kind of rice, for 1 cup of rice, I would put 2.5 cups of water, because you have to put a little bit more water for that rice. And I'm going to show you a finished product of when my rice is cooked, and also when some of my ingredients are in my pot. I'll upload it to this video. So I hope this was very helpful to you and how I prepare my rice and beans. When you are ready to try it, I hope it comes out really good and you will love it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching.